50-day cycle of GHK-Cu earlier this year, and my results were underwhelming. I talked about this in a previous video, and I was honest. I did see a little bit of hair regrowth and maybe a bit of difference in my skin, but nothing extreme. And the injection process was a lot more unpleasant than I expected. But this isn't to say that it doesn't work. The evidence is there, and I will be doing another cycle and reporting back soon. However, all of this got me thinking, what's the difference between people who see immediate results with GHK-Cu and those who don't? And I think one common thread is collagen. GHK-Cu stimulates your body to produce and reorganize collagen. But if your body doesn't have adequate collagen building blocks available, you're essentially sending a signal with nothing to act on. So in this video, we're going to talk about that missing piece. Now, I've covered a lot of peptides on my channel: retatrutide, tesamorelin, of course, GHK-Cu, DSIP. I'll link my peptide playlist up above if you're curious about any of those. But today I want to zoom out from the peptide itself and talk about the collagen context. The context that I think determines whether GHK-Cu actually delivers on what the research suggests it can do. Now, if you're not familiar with GHK-Cu, it's a naturally occurring copper peptide. Your body produces it, and it acts as a signaling molecule that tells your body to shift into a repair and regeneration state. But unfortunately, it declines with age. And the specific mechanisms are very interesting. GHK-Cu has been shown to stimulate the cells responsible for producing collagen, elastane, and other structural proteins in the skin and connective tissue. It also upregulates genes associated with tissue repair, reduces inflammation, and promotes wound healing. So when GHK-Cu works, it's telling these cells to get to work. It's not providing collagen directly. It's stimulating your own cells to produce more of it. And this is an important distinction because it means the output depends on what your body has to work with. If the raw materials for collagen synthesis are limited, the signals have less to act on. And that's where I think a lot of people are missing something important. Collagen production requires specific amino acids, primarily glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. It also requires vitamin C as a cofactor, which is directly involved in the cross-linking process that gives collagen its structural integrity. So if you're using GHK-Cu without adequate collagen, you're stimulating a production process without fully supplying the building materials. Your body can synthesize some of these amino acids endogenously, but dietary supply matters, and particularly with glycine, which is difficult to get adequate amounts from a standard diet. Now, here's something worth understanding about collagen supplementation. Not all collagen is doing the same thing. You don't just want a generic collagen powder. There are different types of collagen peptides with different target tissues and different clinical evidence behind them. The type that matters for skin is different from the type that matters for muscles and connective tissue. So let's start out by talking about collagen for skin. The research on bioactive collagen peptides for dermal thickness, hydration, and elasticity is meaningful. The mechanism involves collagen peptides being absorbed intact or as small fragments, reaching the dermis and stimulating cell activity, the same cells that GHK-Cu is also targeting. And this is why combining these bioactive collagen peptides with GHK-Cu makes sense. You're providing the substrate at the same time as amplifying the signal to use it. It's really important to choose a collagen supplement for your goals. So if skin is your primary focus here, I'm gonna link to the collagen you should be using in the description box down below. But now let's talk about for muscle and body composition. And this is a completely different discussion from what we just spoke about with skin. The bioactive collagen peptides, primarily for muscle, have multiple randomized controlled trials behind them, showing changes in fat-free mass and fat mass when combined with resistance training. The mechanism here is about the connective tissue environment around muscle fibers, the extracellular matrix that supports how muscle adapts to training. And if you want the specific collagen that's good for your muscles and body recomposition, I'll link that in the description box down below as well. Now, before we wrap up, I want to talk about something that's worth being honest about. I'm 33, and yes, that's young. But in the context of collagen, it's actually not that young. Collagen production starts declining in your mid-20s. By 33, that decline is real and measurable. The research on GHK-Cu declining with age, on cell activity reducing, these processes are already underway for me, not something to think about later. So what I'm doing is proactive intervention, getting a head start on it before I start to see more visible signs of aging. It's better to support your collagen production before it declines significantly. The same logic can be applied to visceral fat, to insulin resistance, to bone density. Get ahead of it rather than trying to reverse something that's already progressed. GHK-Cu stimulates cell activity and collagen synthesis signaling. If the building materials of collagen aren't adequately supplied, that signal has less to act on. Running targeted bioactive collagen peptides alongside GHK-Cu gives the mechanism what it needs to actually work. So yes, my first cycle of GHK-Cu was overwhelming, but I'm not giving up on it yet. I will keep you guys posted once I've done another cycle. So stay tuned for that. And like I said earlier in this video, if you want the links to the specific collagen supplements I recommend for your specific goals, those will be in the description box down below.